Yo, what's going on, guys? Chris Bonner here, Overtime Athletes, part 2 of sport-specific training and the importance. Like I said, I talked about last video of why you should be training sport-specific outside of your practice, outside of you in, like I said, a lot of athletes think, oh, I'm doing this with the team, I have scheduled practices, I need to do that. Well, no, you need to be doing it outside in the off season just as much as you're doing it in the weight room and training for that. My second part that I wanted to talk about was how you train for sport-specific training. And the way that I utilize this model is based off of college ball, if you will. When I went to college ball, or junior college ball, if you will, my first introduction to this, the practice was it was so structured. It was so different than high school. There was actually real coaches. Some of these, not to say that the high school coaches weren't real, but these guys were very on point with the structure of practice and what repetitions each player need to be getting in. So I played tight end, slot, in kind of like an H-back, if you will, in college. And what I learned is basically throughout practice, you start on a micro level and move to a macro level. Now let me explain, to kind of draw an example off that. Me as a wide receiver, I would start off with our smallest position group, right? And this would be our other tight ends, our other H-backs, anybody of that, that positional group. Then we would move to the entire receiving corps, which was receivers, it would be your running backs, anybody who's running routes. Then you would move to your shells, which would be your quarterback, your running backs, your receivers, and actually start catching balls. Then we would do basically offense. We would run through offense where we would hit pads against the backups and the guys who third and fourth stringers. They would basically be models, if you will, or hold bags, and as we run through plays. And then finally, towards the end of practice, you would do team, where basically you would run against your own team. That's offense versus defense, and you would get a look. So as you can see, it starts off at a micro level where you're actually practicing, essentially just with you and your group, the specific movements that you're doing. Then you're getting more into a grander or more a general scale, as macro scale, if you will, moving along to where you're ultimately being integrated into the whole system. So taking that same model, as an athlete, to train for sport specific, you should be doing the exact same thing. So in the beginning of your training session, you should be breaking it down on the smallest level. I'm going with this example. If I was a wide receiver training in the off season, I would start with quick breakdowns or quick footwork drills at the smallest level. I would start by picking up my feet. Maybe it could be ladder drills. Then move into running stem or running routes on air by myself. Basically just honing that craft and practicing. Then I would move over to catching, right? Or actually catching by itself would be probably pretty earlier, just catching the ball, running or acting like I'm running, catching, using my hands to basically, like I'm mimicking game type situations from all different routes or all different areas catching the football. And then I'll move into actually running out routes on air with the quarterback, where now I have a quarterback actually, I'm running the route and I'm catching it, and then finally going up against a defender, right? So running one-on-ones, finishing with that. And that's kind of an example I would do. You could treat this the same way with any sport or anything that any kind of competition that you're doing it in. Start at the macro level, finish at the ultimate level where everything's integrated, closest similar to what you're going to be doing as a game day experience. I hope that helps for sport-specific training, 2-part series. I'll holler at you guys next time. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. If you're interested in becoming a better athlete, go ahead and click this box right over here. Today, we'll get you signed up for a free athletic course that's going to teach you how to become a better athlete, whether it be speed, explosiveness, strength, or just pure aesthetics. Go ahead and click that. I'm going to send it to you and get you started immediately.